Well, Brett, the common colors this time of year are red and green.
Yes.
We got a lot of green for Christmas last week. But what color are we seeing today?
We are, thanks to our special guest who's wearing a red bow.
Oh, there you go.
We are red as all get out today. The only thing green today is the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
The stock market's getting crushed. All base metals are getting crushed. All precious metals are getting crushed. The only thing green, the only thing that's up is the almighty dollar, which probably explains why everything's getting crushed.
Dollar up, commodities down, traditionally.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so we're in December, last month of the year, which is just mind-blowing. I'm sure everyone else feels the same way. We're hearing up money for Ferris across the board. Your Bulls versus Bears goes into this. Are we thinking we're going to have some momentum into the new year as well?
That's what I'm hearing. Obviously, days like today don't help the cause. It gives people the ability maybe to try and lay off the gas and say, maybe we should have been up 50, but maybe now we're going to go 20 or whatever that number is, right? I'm still pretty bullish on, the price of ferrous scrap relative to the price of hot rolled. I mean, if you look at that margin opening up pretty big. And combining that with the flow of scrap, I mean, there's not a ton of inventory. I talked to a lot of people. I've seen a lot of yards. I talked to people that have a lot of yards, and nobody's just flush with inventory on scrap. Chad does a pretty good breakdown for us on the Bulls versus Bears podcast and talking about the Zorba price. The price of Zorba actually going up with the aluminum price going down shows you that there's demand for Zorba, but not enough supply to feed that demand, which is driving the price higher with lower, aluminum pricing. So,
who buys all the Zorba?
It used to be very driven export. I think that's still a big component of it. But as technology gets more refined and you're starting to see some of these better downstream systems, a lot of that material is staying domestic too. So you've got these heavy media plants that are working on the back end of these Zorba plants, and so they're floating off material. They are doing a significantly better job separating to the point where some of this material is now getting consumed by strong secondaries, and even some, if it's really good, primary, smelters. So it's still an export-driven number for sure, but there's still, the domestic demand is coming thanks to the technology being able to support it.
And what is Zorba? Let everyone know what Zorba is. They might not know what that is.
It's a product of the downstream of the shredding process. So when you send a car body or an appliance to be shredded, there's a fluff, what they call a waste fraction of that material, which would be like your foam, your car seats, your plastic, something that can't be recovered. And then Zorba is the aluminum fraction mixed with, it's a commodity that is valued differently depending on what the mix is, right? And how well or how quality your downstream is coming off.
So depending how good your shredder is,
it's like your stainless, your heavy media fraction. Zorba is your lighter media fraction, which is primarily aluminum, and they're trying to sort off the zinc out of it, and then you also have your copper wire component of it, and depending on what that mix is what the value of your Zorba will be to consumers. How clean is it? How much of it is recoverable? Okay. So it's a big part of the process. It's a big value driver when people are buying shreddable material, what that Zorba number is on a per pound basis. Traditionally, and I don't operate a shredder, these are just numbers that I've been, kind of operated off. You're looking at a 67 to 68% recovery out of a ton of shreddable material, which that 67, 68% is all in. That's the steel fraction, the Zorba, the Zurich, the meatball, all your recovered metals. So you're leaving They're basically, you have a 30 to 32%, 33% waste material that's obviously getting landfilled or whatever.
Oh, wow.
With it.
So that's a lot more than probably a lot of people would think, 30.
Probably, yeah. They may, I don't know. People think that everything that goes to a shredder is recoverable, and there's still a lot of waste in there.
But they still get everything that can be recycled to the recyclers.
Yeah, it's gotten, not every shredder's built the same, just like not every downstream, which is the back end of a shredder that's doing the sortation, is built the same. That used to be the big investment was the actual shredder, and now the big investment is the downstream off the backside because there is so much value. And as cars begin to lightweight, right, so they use more aluminum, like the F-150s, aluminum bodies, and all these other cars that are using these lighter weight materials in order to achieve vehicle emission standards.
Yeah.
Lighter the vehicle, the less, the better the gas mileage usually, so it's easier for them to get to their emission standards, quotas.
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot more, valuable material coming out on the downstream side. So it's for those of you that don't understand that game, that's part of, it's becoming a bigger and bigger part of, owning a shredder than it ever has been before. And the technology that's been able to kind of track along with it has only gotten better.
Very interesting. Where do you think copper ends up this year? We got 20-something days.
I was telling Chad in our Bulls versus Bears, I was betting on $4. I said, I need to talk to Nick and make a bet.
That's why I'm bringing this up.
Good thing I didn't wait until...
You still confident with $4?
What are we at, 370?
Tell you.
3?
Kitco's got it 377 right now.
77?
That's Kitco. I'll tell you what. The Comex still is 383. Yeah.
I believe $4. I believe
All right.
we get over $4.
So I get everything under 4.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that bet. What do
All
we
we
bet?
gotta do is touch it. Like we touch $4.
Just even if it's for a millisecond. I need a screenshot proof though. I need you to find it.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. I'm on the task.
Okay.
What's the bet?
I don't know. $100 to
$100.
$100.
Done.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, Brett.
All right. The bet's on.
Bet's on.
So you are witness, our team mascot. Witness the bet. All right.
Have a good week, everybody.
All right. Take care.